Okay, so we're going to continue from where we stopped. We're going to be able to work on the camera so the camera can be able to track the player properly. So right now I can just go up here, and if I go to my positioning, I can just click on smooth, and let me see here. I think the rotation should also do a good job for us. Where is, let's leave it at this, and the speed should, let's say, make it to be about 2. So when you play it, you actually see that the camera follows the player, but not too fast. It's a bit slow. That's the whole idea of what we're doing. Okay, so if you look at now, you see it's following, but it's not following it radically. It's following it just a bit. So that's the idea of what we want to do. Okay, so we can just close this, and let's work on our entire scene. So let's go back here. So the background of our scene, we're not going to be using any kind of background. We're going to just use the color of the background. Just go to project settings, and in the project settings we can just go down to our general, and we can go down to where do we have our environment? Let me see down here, rendering. So we'll have environment. You can click on environment, and you have your default color. So you can click on this, and let's say for it, let me drag this out so you can see what is happening. Click there, and we'll have let's say that color. Yep. So we'll have a color like that. We need to have a bright background because our color is red. So I'm just going to close that because I'm done with it. So now the next thing I want to be able to do is just simply save this work, and let's go create our UI, the user interface for our game that will appear whenever we start this game. So I'll click on a new one, and I'm going to go for order, and I'm going to use a canvas layer. So once I add my canvas layer, I'm going to have let me see if I have a text here, coin label. So I'm going to just get my coin label and just drop here. So let's see where it went. Okay, it's not even up here yet. No, it's not here. So just drop it inside here, and we can scale it up to make it bigger. So let me see. So we just have this here, and we're going to save it. Let's call this our UI. Once we have our UI, we can just save it, and then under this we can add a label that will be counting our player, so our coins that we have collected. We can just get them together and drop them in the center of our scene. Now let's go back to our main and let's get that UI into this place. Let's see what it looks like. So for some reason it's not appearing exactly where I want it to appear, so let's go find the reason why. So I think there is a problem with my UI scene. Let me go find out the reason why it's doing that. Okay, and also I have a problem with my scene. The problem is that this color I made my background is having some issues. So let me change this to white for the meantime. So I need to see something. I need to see this line. That's what I'm looking for. So I'm going to go back to that line. So let me come back here. Okay, so this is what we are experiencing. Oh, for some reasons, our scene here is having some. Oh, it's actually too big. That's the reason why. We actually zoomed too much. So it's quite good that I actually changed it to white. So this is a problem that could come up, and you will know exactly how to change it. So because of the color change, I had an issue with my background. So this is just what I need. I need to have this, my player, just somewhere here, just somewhere there. And now if you go back to your main, you should be able to see it in the center of this place. So that means that if you actually play your game, you will actually see the player going. And that particular UI flowing it through. So have the UI going with it. That's it. That's what we want. That's exactly what we want. That's good. So it falls off completely. So we can also do something where we are able to make that floor, not to fall off, so we can be able to catch the player from here. We can also do that later. So that's another thing we could do, but not now. So the next thing I want to be able to do is to now go ahead to make this game more vibrant. So I'm going to go over here. I'm going to go over here to change to get my coins. So let me get my coins first. So for my coins, I'm going to just click on Other Node and type area. So Area 2D node is actually a node that is used for being able to sense a body. So for example, if a body should touch the coin, a physical body should touch the coin, the coin should be able to sense that someone touched it. That's the whole essence of the Area Body 2D. So it has the ability to be able to sense things. So it has signals that come with it that makes it possible. So I can just do Area 2D, and I can can just go over here to my node and see that the body entered function is here. So I'm going to use that in a bit. So right now I will right click and I will add an animated sprite 2D and also add a collision shape to it. So I have that now. So for my animated sprite 2D, I'm going to click on it, go back to my inspector, click on the animation under the inspector here, click on the empty, click on new sprite, and then I can just click on sprite frame and get my first coin, the second coin, and then the third coin. I think let's see, the third coin exactly. So you actually see that when you play this, it's going to just give you that flipping illusion. So if you actually watch the tutorial, the first version of it, you actually see that it's that's how I created it. It's just basically some shapes, some circles I actually use to make this particular thing here. So turn on that too. So go in here and save it, coin, and save. So we'll have this here now. So let's also go ahead to create the enemy. So in this tutorial, we're going to make enemy to be able to move around. So that's what we're going to be doing. So we're going to be animating it. So I'm going to do animated 2D. Sorry, area 2D. So area 2D for the enemy. Okay, so the enemy should be able to move. So area 2D will not work for us. So what we're going to do is, because we're going to add some code to it, we will need to make it to be a character body 2D. That's what we're going to do. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. And then we're going to add a collision to it, a collision shape to it, and then we're going to add an animated sprite 2D. Okay, now this is just for the character, the main enemy itself. So but the thing that we will be sensing the player will be different, so this will be a bit complicated. So I'm just going to just select this and go down to animated, click on the enemy here and click on the new sprite frame. When I open this up, I can just quickly just drag my lava, so it's gonna be a walking fire, like a moving fire. So you have this, and you also have to bring in that first one again, and then the last one. So once you do that, you have that illusion of it moving, doing that. To be able to make sure that it gives you the best quality, click on the animated sprite, go down to texture, change from inherited to nearest. It's going to give you a sharper texture. Save it. Let's call it fire or lava. Let's call it lava. Okay, so we'll have this here. And for the collision, we're going to create a collision shape that will be a rectangle. So it doesn't really matter here, because collision shapes need the character body to this need the collision shape. So but for us to be able to sense the player, okay, this one is just for the collision, okay, for us to be able to move the character and animate it. That's what we want to be able to do. Okay, on a second thought, I think we don't even have to do that, because we can just use normal transform to be able to transform it, instead of going to go ahead to create a move and collide, because we don't really need a move and collide here. So I'll just go ahead to change this, okay, so that it makes things easy for us. I'm just going to right click. So if you don't know how to change the node, I already have a character 2D, body 2D here, but I can rechange it back, right click and change type to area 2D. So I'm just going to change it back. So I'm going to change this to lava. So right now what you should know is that this particular one is actually an area 2D. That's the most important thing you need to know. So we're going to be able to work with it. So the last thing I'm going to put, I'm going to add an animated sprite to it. Sorry, not animation node. That's what we're going to do. So I'm going to put an animation player. That's the first thing I'm going to add. So I'm going to create an animation of this guy moving around. So let me do that. So select this, click on animation, new animation, and let's put move, and click on move. And now I just have from 0 to 1, so I'd like to make it to 0 to about 3 seconds from here. So while it is here, let's go to the lava, this one here at the top here. That's what we want to animate. We want to animate the entire lava. That's what we want to do. So I'm going to go down to my transform down here. Remember we have created an animation called move. So I'm going to click here and I will just click on use Bezier and click create. So right now it remembers that it is here. By the first second we need it to go over to, I'm going to hold shift to lock it on the axis. If you want to get accurate measurements, you can just come in here. That should be X. So I can just do minus, let's say 30. Let's see how 30 goes. Okay, 30 is here, not too far. So we'll have this here, and we can just click on that to remember that. So if you go back now, you see that it goes this way, it goes that way. So by the time it comes to 2, we want it to repeat this one. So I'm just going to just come in here and type 0 and click on the key. It's going to remember that. So if you just move back, so we want it to go to the other side too. That will be 30. And we'll click, so that means we need to increase our time to about 40. Sorry, 4, not 40. 4 seconds. And I can go over here and change it back to 0. So I just click on this and I have my animation. So if you play this animation now, it's going to be doing that. So that's just all we need to do. So we can come up here and click on this animation looping so that it will loop the animation for us. So we'll have this goes. Alright, so we'll just have that. So that's just the basic stuff that we are going to create, because we want the player to be able to see moving lavas, so that that's one of the features we are looking out for. So over here now I can just get this guy, and since I have animation on him, I'm going to allow him, let's see, just come in here, I'm going to right click, add an animation player node, sorry, an animation 3 node. So let's get an animation 3 node. The animation 3 node controls this animation, will control this animation player. So if I click on animation 3 node I just added right now, I can go to my tree root, okay, and click on, I'm going to be using animation node blend tree, and then I will assign the animation player to be controlled by it, okay, so it will control it. So once I do that, I can just click here and click on animation and just select that animation, the move animation that I have, and just connect it to this, and you see that by default it's already moving. So once you click here, you can just set that by default. Let's click out. You see this is fading, it's faded, so I'm just going to click out and click back again, and let's save this. It usually does this a lot. So it's okay now, so it's always active, so we can actually use it this way in our game. So I'm just going to save this, and let's go over to here. We already have our coin, and let me see if there's anything we're adding. Okay, those are the major things we want to add. So let's bring all this element into our game and see what they're going to look like. So here I'm my game, this is my main. Let me just call this main. I'll right click and add my child. I'm going to add my lava, and my lava is over here. Okay, so it's moving. So what I need to do is that for me to control this thing very well, especially when I add code to it, I need to add a new node 2D, and this node 2D is going to be like a placeholder that I'm going to be using to hold my lava. So I'm going to just call it lava 1. Put underscore lava 1, drag this under here. Okay, so this means that this one is still up there, but I'm going to use this tool here to just drag it. Let me lock it so that it will enable group selection. So I can just move it here. Let's push it down here. So we'll have this. So I'm going to put another node 2D. This one will now be for the lava group. So this will be like underscore group. It will now be like a general control for all the lavas. So I can just put this under here. So you can have multiple lava. So I have lava 1 and lava 2. And now I can use this to move this one away. So somewhere here, and it will remain there. So remember what I'm using on it. I'm not using the actual lava scene. I'm actually moving the node 2D that is as a parent of that lava. So you can just do that. Duplicate, and you can just move this one to here. Remember, we have not added any code. Okay, so let's also add let me just snap this and add a new node. This one is for the coins that I'm going to be using. So the node 2D, I'm going to call this my coins underscore group. That's what I'm going to be using here. Okay. Let me use here. Then another node 2D. Then here I'm going to make this be coins underscore 1. Put that there. And then I can instantiate my coin. Remember, we have not added any code on it yet. We're just testing to see what it's going to look like. And you see it's coming in with our area to there. I don't like that. So I'm just going to come in here, change the title of my coin, that's the parent node, the root node, to coin, so that when I bring it in here, it will bear the name coin. So I have that there now. Okay, so I have this. I can select this one and make it to be group select. It's going to allow me to move the entire group. So I can just select this and just move this down. So let me say, for example, I can put this somewhere here. Yep, there. And I can duplicate and move this to, let's say, over there. So if you think it's too big, you can always go back here. And the good part about having this is that you can just come in here, select the animated sprites, and you can scale it down a bit like this. Select the collision, and the collision, we haven't added the collision here. The circle, so if you have not added it before, please just go ahead and add it now. You know, this is their life. There are some steps I meet sometimes, so but as we're testing, we're going to be correcting those things. So I have this here now. Okay, so if you go back to your main, you see that it's going to be smaller right now. It's going to be smaller. So it's not going to be rotating right now. Don't worry about that. So let me just duplicate and just add one more here. So let's test this game and see what it's going to look like. So you have this. You see, you can have that. That's it. I notice that my fire is not rotating, so we have to go and see why it's doing that. Okay, so we'll have this here. Okay, so I'm just going to close that and let's go back and see why my fire is not moving around. Because we need that fire to be moving around. We need that fire to be moving wherever the lava. So I'll click on the lava and let me see. The lava is giving me an error. It's telling me there is a problem somewhere. So the root node is commanded not to be transformed since. Okay, so it's telling us that it should not be transformed. So what we're going to do right now is I'm going to create a new node. I'm going to call this node 2D. I'm going to get a node 2D now, and that node 2D is going to be our lava roots. And when I get it, I'm just going to right click and I'm going to make it the scene roots. So right now we have solved that problem. So it's not going to be giving us that issue any longer. So let's see. And also the animated sprites. Okay, we might need to, let me see. Alright, so over here, for whatever reason the animated sprite is not playing. It should be playing. So but for some reason it's refused to play, which maybe we'll have to resolve later. All of them are not playing here. So let's play this game again and see if it's going to be able to play. So the fire is playing now. Okay, that's all we want. So and the coin also is also moving. That's the good part. Alright, that's very nice. Okay. So whenever we touch this, it's going to just destroy the player. That's what we want in this particular game. Okay, so let's check out something here. This one is a bit down. We don't want that. We want it to be up. The place is meant to be. Okay, so we'll have this here now. So now let's go do some coding. So right now we're going to go back to our coin. So we want whenever the player touches a coin, it's going to disappear and then it will count on the UI. That's what we want to be able to do now. So I'm going to just come in here to the coin and I'm going to right click, attach a script. Remember we have already added our orchestrator script, orchestrator add-on. So I can just come in here and click on this and you see orchestrator comes up here and I can click here and go back and create a folder called scripts and click OK. So once I do that, I can just click on coin open and just create it. Let's go ahead to create a script. Create a script for the coin. So for the coin now, we want whenever it's touched, it's going to delete itself. That's what we need it to be able to do. So let's do that. So first, I'm going to go into my node, select this area 2D, go into your nodes and go to the signals, click on body entered, and I will just click on connect. My connect will be connected to on body entered. So I'm going to say on coin underscore body entered, and then I'm going to just connect it to this code because there's just one code here. I'm just going to connect it. So once I connect it, go to your orchestrator here and you can just have this here. So now what are you looking for? So I'm going to right click now and I will say I'm looking for its in group. That's the first thing I need. So I'll say, which group are you looking for? I'll say I'm looking for a group called player, and I've not created a group called player yet. So I'll go and create it right now. So I'll click on my player, go to this character body 2D here, and I'll go to my node. This time around, I'll be going to my groups, and I'll click here, click on the plus sign here, type player, and make it to be global. Check this box to make it global, and click OK. And once I do that, I can just copy this player here. And now I'll go back to my orchestrator, and in this is in group, I'm just going to paste that group. So that means it's going to be checking once it touches a body, it's going to check whether it's in the group player. So this will enable it to not react whenever any other body touches it. Okay, it's only when the player touches, that's when it's actually going to do anything. Okay, so I'm going to now get a branch. So branch is basically how to get it's more like an if statement. It's actually the if statement of orchestrator. So I'm going to get my branch, and you have the branch, so it's going to be checking for that. So the question is, when it does that, if it's that, what should it do? So we're going to say delay. I think there are other things we need to do, but I'm going to start with this first. Delay for, let's say, 0.2 seconds. Okay, and queue free. Now we're going to do more. Queue free, that's it there. So don't worry about this. We're going to put a code before this, so but for now we want to be able to be sure that that is actually working. So let's come in here and play and see. Okay, so once I play that, you see that when I touch this coin, it disappears. That's what I want it to do. So, but I want it, when it disappears, I want it to be able to display on this particular screen. That's what I want it to do. So it's now disappearing. So now I noticed something about our text, UI text is actually white. So I'm going to go back to it and select it and go down to my inspector, click on this label settings, click on new, click on this and go down to my fonts, change it from white to a black color. Okay, so you can do that. So we can increase the size to make it a bit bigger. Save that, and let's go back here now. So now we want to be able to, whenever the coin it's deleted, okay, in fact before it's deleted, we want it to be able to increase the value of our UI. The UI will have, we want to be able to increase the value of the UI. So for us to do that, we need to go to the main and create a value of the coin. So we're going to create a variable called coin. So that means that it will warrant us to now create a code for the main scene. So I'm going to right click here and create attach a script for the main scene. So this is my scenes, and I'm just going to create it. Let me be sure I'm not in the right place. Go to my scripts, I have my main scene, so click on that, open, and just create. So I'm doing this so that I can be able to create an exported variable, that I can affect from another scene, from the coin scene. So now I have my scene here. So if you're doing this for the first time, this is just basically the orchestrator panel where you can be able to work with orchestrator. So you can just click on variable here and make it to be coin. So I'm going to put coin here and select it. I'm going to go over here, any, and make that any to be integer and make it to be exported. So when I export it, it will be seen everywhere. Okay, so let's just save this. So once we save it, we can Now go back to our coin. So right now we want to be able to increase the value. Okay, so the value we want to increase here right now is the value of the let me just do it this way. I'm going to come up here. Right now I'm in my coin, so as I'm in my coin, I will just click on the main. Once you click on the main, it will go back to the main script, so you just automatically click on the coin scripts. That's what you need, okay? And then you just click back on this main. What you want to see is this guy here. So once you do that, it can switch this. You just click back here, the coin will still be there. So you need to just drag this out. So you just need a bit of practice for you to get used to this. And just click on back again, click on orchestrator, drag this again. So you are getting a getter and a setter. That's what you want to do, so that because that's what you're going to use to change the value here. So let me see the one that will work for us. I think I will get this. So this will set the value of the coin. Remember, the coin is actually in the main script, but then we are changing the value from the coin scene. So whenever it touches the body, you would wait for 0.2 seconds. It will set the value of the coin variable to +1. So now getter will get the current value of the coin, and then we're going to use an addition. So when we get the addition, so this addition here, and just add this here, put 1, and just drop this here. And just put this to here. So that means that it's going to get a value and add 1 to it each time that this happens. And we can also delay bits. There is this need I like making to able to delay. Or this time I'm going to reduce the waiting time for the delay. So it's not going to be just instant. So I'm just going to make it to be 0.1. So but when you start doing it, you'll know if it actually works for you. Now when you're done with this, now you need to now go back to the main code now. So this is the code for the main now. So we want it to be able to update the value, because right now it's been updated from the coin script. The value is increasing each time the player touches the coin. Okay, so we'll now go to the main and say, okay, we're going to start with a physics process because we want it to run with time. So with each second is going to be refreshing to be giving us updates. So I'm going to type my physics process. So my physics process right now is going to just come in here and check something. I have my physics process here, and I'm going to remember I have my coin, so I'm going to just drop this here and say get the value of coin. Okay, so what we want to do right now is we want to be able to set the value of the current value of coin to the UI. This UI that we'll have here, we want to set that value. Remember, we are changing the value from the coin scene. We're changing the value of the coin variable from the coin scene. Now we want to be able to set the value, whatever value we have on that coin scene, okay, that coin variable, we want to set that value to the UI. So if you look at my main scene here now, you see that the UI is here. Well, let me show you. It actually came in as canvas. So I can just come in here, right click on it, and go to, let me see if I can change that. I don't like that name, canvas. But all the same, it's not going to change now. It's not too late. So I'll just come in here and I will right click on it. This is very important. And open up edit children. Okay. Now it is important that you do this. If you get the value from this scene here, sometimes it will not connect properly. So you want to connect directly with the scene that you already have here. So I'm going to click on the label. The label is this guy here, the value of, let me show you at the top here, the value of this, that's this, the value that will be changing. So and we are trying to connect this value here. So we'll click on the label here, go to the orchestrator, and we're in the main script right now, the script for the main scene. And look at this. Once we select this label here, and we can just drag this value into this place, and we can just click on set value. So we'll put this here, and it's going to be setting the value of the coin, any current value of the coin variable. We'll be setting it to it immediately. So let's just go save it and play the game here and see how that works. So basically, it's just like a connected thing. You just have to understand how the connection works. You know, the coin changes a variable that has been exported. The variable itself updates the UI. That's the whole scenario that we are trying to create here. So if you look at now, it's just there. So once you move, it deletes it. Okay, so we'll have this, we'll have that, boom, 2. So you see there is a delay, and I don't like that delay, so I'm going to remove my time for it to be able to work properly. So I'm just going to remove that. So the delay is quite much, so I'm going to just go back to my coin, and I will remove this delay and just put it straight. And also this one should be just be 0.1. I just need a bit of delay there, and this will be good for me. All right, so let's go into the other part. So we want to be able to also whenever it touches the lava, we want it to show us the game over screen. Okay, so what about the game over screen? Let's go create it now. So I'm going to click on new and click on 2D scene, and right click, get color rect. So the color rect is going to have I think I'm going to use a red color for this one. Okay, so we'll have this, and then we're going to get a label. So for label, I'm just going to put game over. And to make it bigger, I'm going to go to my label settings and click on label new. Click on this, go to font, and increase that. So now I'll just go here. Let me rename this as game over. And then okay, let me add my buttons, because I'm going to be using this again. So the button is just basically a node for creating buttons, so clickable buttons. So once I add my button, I'm going to call this my play, and I will type here play. And you can try scaling it up like that. And that should be okay. I think that should be play again underscore again. Duplicate this. width here, width. Okay, so we'll have this. So let's go save this. Game over. And then I can just quickly resave this as my windscreen. So I'll just create all the windscreen and all the screens right now. So I'm just going to create this as my windscreen. For my windscreen, I will make it a different color. So let's say I can make it to be bright color. And make this victory. Or you can just put great job. So we'll still use that the same play again and quit button there. Save it, but this time around we're going to change here to become win. Then go ahead to right click again and just let me save this. Right click and save as, and this would be the splash screen or the start screen. Let me call it the start screen. So we're going to save this. So once we save that, we can just over here select this and just call it lava invasion. That's the name of the game. So I'm not doing any fancy designs for the game. This is just like the best. Probably the fine-tuning will come in another tutorial, in another life. So if we're able to finish this one first, so I can make this to be lava, and let's make it as simple as possible. So we'll have here play. I could just do normal play now because this is my start screen. And just do play. Yep, so that's it. So this one would actually make it the color of our. So I'm not selecting any color here. I'm just putting random stuff. So when we come to the part of the color design and everything, we're going to check out those ones in later tutorial. So right now I'll put here as my start screen. Okay, so we'll have this here now. So now let's go back to our lava. So the lava that we'll have, whenever it touches a particular thing, okay, whenever it touches the player, it's going to just take us back to where we're meant to be. Okay, it's just going to take us to the game over screen. That's what we want it to be able to do. So right now I can just go to my lava, that's area, to the body 2D here, and then go to the signal and click on body entered, connect. So once I do that, I can just uncom body entered. Sorry, I think we are in the wrong place. Let's do that again. Lava. Oh, we haven't added a script. That's the reason why. So I can just add a script here. Right click, attach the script, and go back here to my scripts. Open the lava. So I'm in my script right now. So I'm going to create a script for my lava. So now I can just go to my node, go to signal, body entered, connect, and now it's under here. So it's going to give me something blank. So I'm going to put on lava underscore body entered, connect. So So once I drop it there, okay, I'm not sure this will work. That will not work. Just remember something now. If you notice, when I added the code on the the body with an animation, it didn't work any longer. Okay, so I need to add that code here. So let me just go back and drag that code I just added, and let me go to my scripts, lava. I'm going to drop it on this lava root, the new root that we actually have. So click here now, and that's it here. So let's put it here. So let's save. So I just moved the code from the lava here to the lava roots that we have created before. So in here we're going to do the same thing. Get right click and get is in group. So we're going to be checking for the group player. So it's when it touches the player. So if it touches any other body, it's not going to react. So the player, I've copied the player, so it's still in my buffer. So right now I'll say branch, which is what is going to be using to check these if statements in Visual Scripting. Put this here, and then I will quickly add. Whenever this happens, what should it do? Okay, remember in the coin, what we did was we told it whenever it does this, it's going to delay and then it's going to delete. It's going to set the value before it deletes. So, but our own here is going to be a bit different. Okay, so it's going to be when the lava is touched, okay, it's going to delay just a tiny bit. We don't want it to be instant. So it's going to just be a 0.1 second delay, and then it's just going to change our scene to the game over screen. So I'm going to type right click, type scene, get my scene tree. So scene tree is a node for having access to different scenes you have in your project that you're working on. So you can use to switch to different scenes. So I can just drop this here and I can drag this out and type change. So I have change scene to file. That's what you should be using. And I'll just drop this here and get this one here. So the question is now, which scene do we want to change to? That's what he's going to be asking us right now. So I'm just going to make it very easy for me. I'm going to go down to where I have my scene down there, and I want to change to the game over scene. So I'm going to drag the game over scene and just get the path to it. That's the fastest way you can do it. So once you do that, you can now get your instantiate. Right click and get instantiate. So once you get instantiate, it's to instantiate the scene and it's to replace the old one. For whatever reason, okay. So we'll have this here now. Since we have already added our start screen, we can just play the game from here. We can click on the play and we'll say select current scene. So we can select the current scene. So our start screen now is on the default scene whenever we click on the play button. So what you to do, we haven't put our buttons, so that is not good for us. That's not good for us. So let's just leave that for now. We're going to just close that. We haven't set our buttons for the start screen. Okay, so that's what it's going to look like, but we don't want that. So we're going to go back to the main. We want to be able to check if our scene, whenever we touch the lava, is it going to give us the game over screen? That's what we want to be able to check right now. So once we're able to check it, we'll be able to know, okay, we'll be able to actually know how everything that we do, affects. The player touches the lava, what does he do? If the player touches the coin, what does he do? Those are the things we're trying to actually get now. Okay, so we'll have this and everything's working fine. You can jump and we get a coin. You can mistakenly get that, and you see it's not working. So we need to go and figure out why it's not working. So let's go back. think I have an idea of why it might be doing that. So what I will do right now is I'm going to let me see here. I have this here. Let's remove this. So if you notice, that time that we changed our node, there was a problem that we had. So I'm going to delete this particular one, this particular body entered. That's the first debugging I'm going to be doing here. Go back to my lava. Remember, we changed it, so I believe that the change that we did on it affected it. So come in here. You see that node is not, it's meant to still be, even though I deleted it from there, it should still be here. So right now it's no more there, so it wasn't connected properly. So I'm going to connect it again. Click on this, click on connect, and we'll have a lava root. That's where we're meant to connect it to, because before we connect it to this lava here, so we made that mistake and we didn't correct it on time. So go back to your orchestrator right now and just get that thing and plug back the code we just used. Let's plug back the code, and I believe that should solve our problem. Okay, so I have this. Let's touch it and see. Boom, and it gives us game over screen. So that is the solution to everything. So we have that already, and it's going to be working very fine. So now let's go and add the codes for our different scenes, our game over scene. Let me just click on game over and also the win screen. Okay, so let's start with start. And for the start, I'm going to do some stuff here, reuse codes. So right click here on the root node and attach a script. When you attach a script, you click on this to go into your scripts folder and then open it, because you want it to be saved in your script folder. Go to create it. And now we can just go to our play button, go to our node, go to button pressed, click on connect, and then in my connect, I'm going to connect to this start screen on play. Also do the same thing with the quits, pressed, connect, and quickly you can just get both of them. They're very fast. So for the play, you want, whenever you click on the play, it will change the scene to what exactly do you want. For the start screen, we want to change to the first scene, and that is the main scene itself. Change to file, put this here, put this one here. Okay, and then we can just drag our main, drop it here, get back, drop it there, and then instantiate. Then also we can do this for the quit. So we want it to be able to quit whenever we click on the quit button. So I'm going to right click and type scene tree. So we'll get a scene tree node, and we're going to get the quits on it. So once I'm done with that, I can just go on to, let me just go on here to the next one, Next one is the game over scene. So if I want to reuse my code, what I can do is just simply, I'm going to go to, let me show you how to reuse a code. Go to your orchestrator, go to this start screen, and I'm going to just right click on file, save as, and I'm going to go to my scripts and save it as a game over script. Now this is a bit dangerous. Well, I say dangerous, but you have to be careful when you're doing this, because if you mishandle it, it's going to misbehave later. So you just want to be very careful. So right now, this is my game over screen. It's still using the same code, but I need to change this player here because they're not the same button. So I'm going to select this one here now, remove it, and this one, remove it. In fact, I'm just going to just select this, remove and remove. Okay, if you click on these guys here, you see that they are different from the other one that we have. So I'm going to click here now and reconnect back again. Press connect. So before I do that, I need to attach this code to the game over screen here. Let's drag it. Click, drag, and drop it here. So once you drop it, now you can select this, and then you click on press connect, and it will see that code in the game over. So I can just click on connect. See the connect here now for this game over screen. And then we can do the same thing for the quits. And then we'll go for press connect, and then game over, and just click on that. So if you go back to your orchestrator right now, you'll see that you have this, and this will enable you to reuse the entire code without going to do anything. All you need to do right now is play again, means it's going to return back to the player. Yep, that's it. So it's still correct. So then we'll have that there. So we could do the same thing, but for this windscreen, I'm just going to redo it again so that it's easier for you to understand. Right click, attach a script. I can reuse it, but I don't want to. So the win orchestrator script, OS means orchestrator script. So just click and create the orchestrator, and then you go to your play again, and then you get your press button, connect it to the win. Do the same thing with your quits. Yeah, about life. Hello, how you doing? How are you doing? So I have these here, and I will just go on to go into my orchestrator, and then here. All right. Any question? If you have any question, just go ahead to ask your question, and if I can attend to it, I will just do that immediately. Okay, so on play again, for us to be able to play our game again, I'm just going to just come in here now and play again press. So I'm just going to do my scene again. Let me do that again. Scene 3. Get this, change it. So video scripting is very good for anybody that wants to prototype video games. So it's something that you want to learn if you're an artist and you want to sell a game idea. And instead of going to learn coding to create an entire game, you can just use video scripting to make everything you want. So I want to, whenever I click on play again, it's going to go back to my main scene. So I'm going to drag the main scene, drop it here, and I can get my get path, get resource path. So once I drop it here, I can right click and get instantiate. just drop it there. Okay, which version of Godot are you using? Which version of Godot are you using? So you tell me the version and I will tell you what you're going to do. So to put the quit button, I can just go ahead to type my scene and get my scene tree here and just drag this out and get my quit button. Okay, so I have this here now. So I think my game is a bit much more functional right now, so I can just start aiming for more refining. So let's play the game now and see what we actually have right now. So if you want to import, there is a tutorial I have on how to install the Godot add-on, if that's what you mean. Okay, if that's the add-on, yeah, 4.4, yeah, then you simply need to get a version. The version I'm using right now is Orchestrator 2.0.1. If you are running it on if you're running it, I have a tutorial on that on my channel. Let me see if I can be able to get a video on my channel right now and just send to you before our game runs. You actually see how to do that. Okay, so let me see. I think my game is already playing. Let me see, find it. So we'll have this here and the game is playing. So we'll have this. So you can be jumping over it. We'll have this. So if you touch that, that's game over. You can play again, it brings you back. That's what you can be able to do. That's what you can be able to do. Okay, so we'll have that. You can quit your game if you don't want to play any longer. Okay, so waiting for this to close up. Okay, so we'll have this here now. So the next thing I want us to do is to be able to get I want to get I want to get a link I'm going to just send to you right now. As I'm getting also, I want to add sound to this. So our game is almost done. I want to add sound to it. When I add sound to it, then we can be able to now do some other few things to fine tune our levels. Okay, I think I have a tutorial here that will help you. Okay. Okay, so I don't know if you can use that link on chat. If you can't, you just tell me. There's a link to a video on my channel that will show you how to install Godot Orchestrator on your laptop. Okay, especially if you're not using if you're using the compatibility version, okay, you might have an issue with the version. So like for example, I'm using my 2.0.1 even though the latest version is 2.1.3. Okay, so you want to make sure, because sometimes when you install it, it's going to keep on crashing until you get the right. You have to get this 2.0.1. I actually showed how to get it on that particular video, so you can just go there and search for it, and you can be able to find it. It's on GitHub. So if not, you can download it directly from your asset lib. Just go to asset lib, and you can just type Godot orchestrator. If you just type orchestrator, if you're using, if you have a graphics card on your laptop, this should be able to work. Let me see, orchestrator. I think it's just loading. I think my system is a bit slow today. So, but that is what it should be able to do. Once you just type it, it should be able to give you a orchestrator from here, and you can be able to, work with it. Okay, that's it there. It just came out now. Okay, sure, look at it there. You can be able to also install it from here if you want to use it. So let's go back to here. I want to be able to import my sound that I'm going to use in my game. So I'm going to just let me just open up this file and get sound, because we want to be able to, whenever we jump, we want to have that jumping sound in our game. That's what we need to create that effect. So let me see where my files are open. Let me find where my files are open. So yes, I have this. I'm just going to find my sound effect. That's what I want to go find right now. And probably we might even test exporting the game and playing it in Windows format for Windows. Okay, let me see where I have that. So I just got my sound now, and I'm copying it to where I have it. So once I copy it into the folder, if you come in here, you see that it's already importing it. So you just basically copy files, go to the folder you already have it, and just copy it into that. That's how you import. If you want to learn more how to import videos or anything, you can just go import any assets. You can go to my channel, you'll see a lot of videos on how to import there. So now, once I have this, I can be able to see my sound here now. I want to be able to I have a sound for collecting coin. Whenever the coin is collected, I want to play sound. Whenever you touch the lava, I want to play sound. Whenever you jump, I want to play sound. That's what I want to do right now. So to do that, I'm just going to go to my orchestrator here, go to my main scene, and let me create a new node. Let me just snap all these things here, because it's a very simple node. So I'm going to put a node 2D, and this node 2D is going to be my sound group. So one of the things I found with Godot visual scripting is that you need to have the sound in the particular scene you're using it for it to work efficiently. So now where I click and add another child, so what I'll be using now is what we call the audio stream player. So your audio stream player is used for playing music in your game. That's what you use it for. So I'm going to put this, I will call this my jump. Let me start with the jump first. So you can just simply duplicate it, and this one can be coin sound. I think I'll put sound on them so that it's easier for any other person to sound. And duplicate, I can just get this would be collect. Sorry, that would be destroy sound. or let's call it lava or attack sound. Let's use attack sound. Okay, so we'll have this here now. So right now I can just click on this sound here and get my jump. Sorry, let me go to my inspector. For my jump sound, I'll click on jump. This should appear and I will just drag this jump here and drop it into this place. Once I drop it, you can test it. I think that should be very loud, although it's not loud to me, but I know it's to be loud to those listening. So I'm going to just reduce it a bit about, I think this should be better now. So I'm just going to use this 18 value. So now I'm going to click on the coin sound. For the coin sound, I'm going to use collect, drop it here, and do the same thing on the volume, put that value. So, and then for the attack sound, I'm going to get my destroy. Very loud. So I'm going to put this there too. So I think it's still very loud. This one is the loudest. So I'm going to make it about -20. So let's save that. So now for us to be able to, each time we jump, for it to be able to do that, I'm going to go to my main scripts and I will add a new script. The new script I'm going to add, I'm not going to tamper with these guys here. I don't want to tamper with them, although I could, but I want to make the code different. I'm going to use a process this time around. Oh, let's actually go on to use it. So I'm going to right click here and get a branch. And just put this here. Now this code does a different thing altogether. We could make it a different function. In fact, I think I might even want to make it a function on its own so that it's not confusing to anybody. So I'm going to click on function here, call this text. Oh, this will warrant me doing a lot of things. I don't want to do too many things. Let's just leave that alone and just stick to here. So this is a function of its own doing a different thing, but I'm bringing them together here. So this guy is going to be doing a different thing altogether. So I'm going to right click here, get an action. So get my input action. Input action is used for adding when you want to have some button that can be clicked, or for it to receive input from the player. That's what you use. So I'm going to click on action here, go down to where I have my jump, click on it. So whenever I press my jump, I want you to play my jump sound. So I'm going to click on jump sound, go back to my orchestrator, and you see I'm in my jump right now. Go to playing, drag this into this place, and click on get set. Just put it there. So set playing and check that box. Save it. Now for our coins, for it to be able to work, we're going to go to our coin code. So we're going to tell it whenever you set the value of the coin, we want you to also play a jump sound, and then before you delete that particular coin. Okay, so we're going to just click on the coin here, go over to the orchestrator, get this playing, drop it here, and get our set playing, put it in between before it does the cue free, and check that box. Okay, the same thing with our attack. We're going to go to our lava. Whenever the player touches that lava, we want it to, before it will change the scene, we want it to play that sound. So we can just click on attack sound, go to orchestrator, drag this, drop it here, and click on set playing, and just connect this to this, and click on playing, and that is the thing we could do here. So let's go ahead to play this game and see what it's going to look like. Okay, so you have this, so that's all you could do. I don't think my sound is loud enough, at least I can't hear it myself. So I'm just going to increase the sound for my sake so that I can be able to hear it. Probably if you are listening to this, it might be loud. I know, but I myself I cannot hear it, so I cannot appreciate even what I'm doing. So let me make this one. I'm sure this one is. Let's make it 10, and let's go back to the lava. So it deletes immediately. So that's the sound doesn't play properly. So we need to change it here. So we want you to play the sound before it delays. So it will actually have some time to play the sound. So let me just do that to 2 seconds. And then going to my coin. The coin should also delay so that it can play the sound. Let's see if it has a time here. Yep. So it has a time here. So I'm going to remove it from here. This is just the same code. I'm just trying to change where I'm going to put it before this one. So immediately it touches it, it's going to just put the sound, delay, and then it will set the value and then delete the coin. That's what I've done here. So let's play this. This will be a bit loud, so just bear with me. I will change back the value to a lower value later. So, but for me, I reduce the sound of my laptop so I can't even hear it properly if I don't increase the value of the sound as a volume. Okay, so I had loud enough for me. And then loud enough, I can hear the coins now. And that's it. So it's actually working the way I want it to. So you just okay. So now I need to check something. Now we have this. So if you jump, this is what it's going to be giving you. So we have to. I think we need to make sure that we bring this down a bit. So next thing we're going to be doing is that we're going to be making sure that our entire scene is filled with a lot of stuff. So let's fine tune now our entire scene because our game is taking shape and it's looking more beautiful continuously. So I'm going to go back to my scene now. Let's go back to fine tuning. We have done all the major features we want to put in the game. So we don't have power-ups and all that complicated stuff. We just have a moving enemy. So I'm just going to come up here and let me just go here and do that. Okay, so in my tile map layer, I can just select this one, the floor here. So and click on it and use that to paint. See, you cannot paint with this, you have to click on that to also paint. So I think I have to paint about 3 or 4 levels down. Let me even see. There is a way to increase how you paint. I can use this to paint, so I can just do like that to make it fast. I mean, I'm not going to be taking all the time. So that's a faster way to paint. because I'll be using the slow one. So you use this option in the tile map. So I can just do that. Okay, so let's use right click and delete that. What's happening here? Okay, drop it down. Let's do that again. Drop this here. Okay, so for our windscreen, we need to add something here that will actually make our windscreen to be activated. We haven't done that yet. So, but before we do that, we want to just make this scene to look, much more interesting. Okay, so we'll have this here, and I can just go ahead to paint all over here, so the camera cannot see beyond this. Okay, so we'll have this, and we'll also do the same thing here. It's a very short game that we're building, a very short level. Okay, so we'll have this, and that is all I need to do. So the next thing I want to be able to do is to put in my, call it a treasure or something. The last thing that will be here, so it will be the search for Godot. You're looking for the Godot treasure. So we're going to put Godot here, and whenever you touch that Godot file, the picture of Godot here is going to actually win the game. So I'm going to create that. I'm going to make it to be area 2D. So this area 2D is going to be the treasure. Let me call it the treasure that we're looking for. So I'm going to put a sprite, and then I'm going to, under this area 2D, I'm going to put a collision to it, collision shape to it. This collision shape is going to have okay, let me first add the sprite. The sprite is going to be the Godot icon, the almighty Godot icon. So just have that there. So I'm just going to scale it down a bit. I don't know how small it needs to be, but I will just do that for now. Go to my collision, get my rectangle, and just push it up like that. Okay, so let's save and call it treasure, and then just save. So once we save it, we can just come in here and add a code to it. Right click, attach a script. The script is going to also be saved in our scripts folder. Open it and create it. And like we're always doing all the time, we'll just go and go to our node. Make sure you're selecting the root node, and then you click on body entered, connect it, and then click on body entered. It doesn't matter, I'm gonna use it that way. So on body entered, then you're going to check for it. So let's go check for the right click. It's in group. The same thing, is just repetition of stuff. These codes are quite very simple for you to learn. Just drop this here, drop that here, and I still have my, I have changed it, so I'm going to put player. So when you get a player, you get your branch, and then the branch should be checking for that. If it's true, then I'm going to be using my scene tree. Now I would like to delay just a bit, just a tiny delay, so it's not going to just be instant. So this is the place you can also add maybe a wind sound if you want to add a wind sound. So you can do that too. Drag this, type change. And I can just drop this here. And then I want to be able to change to the windscreen. So let's see our scene. So we'll have the windscreen here. Just drag it and drop it there. Get spot and just put this here. And then get our instant sheets. Okay, so that's the thing. This is how we win the game. We'll get to the end of the game and we'll touch the Godot icon and we'll actually win the game. So let's go add it to this place. So like I always tell you, put your node 2D and this would be our treasure holder. And we can instantiate our treasure here. So make sure you select the treasure holder and select it. It's a very large scene and I think it's quite huge, so I'm going to go back and scale it down. Don't scale down this one, scale down the sprites and the collision shape. So now I can just get this. Get that and just move it to that secret vault where you will find it. This is secret vault where you're going to be finding Godot. I think we'll have to make it a bit bigger. It's now looking so tiny. I think this should be better. Okay, so we have this and we can just go over here and we have our game complete. So let me see if there is any other thing that we can add to this game. You can put that in the comments if you feel like there is something else we need to add to this game. This is just very simple stuff, everything that a basic playable game needs. I think we already have added it to the game. So we'll have that. I think a part of my scene is hanging. Okay, so let me just save and play. And you're going to see that the scene looks a bit more different now. And we're also going to change our background because the background is white, so we want it to look a bit colorful. and I win the game. So that is the goal of the game. It's a very simple game. And oh, our windscreen does not have, it's not working properly. Let's go find the reason why our windscreen is not working properly. I just noticed it now. Let's play it and see and be sure that it's actually working. Try and load. So basically, this is the summary of the video I actually made, because someone was also asking if I could make a step-by-step tutorial. So this is what I have here in the live, so we can watch through this step by step, and you can see my thought process and how I made everything from beginning to end. So play again is not working. Okay, which is working. So let me delete this play again here. So go to play again and select it here, remove it, select it over here, and also disconnect it, and then do that again. Connect to your win, connect. So it's going to come back now, and we're going to connect it back. So let's be sure there is no other code that's having any problem with it. So we'll have this, and we're going to play it again and be sure that that code is working properly. Okay, so we're just having a bit of delays here. So probably my scene is beginning to lag a bit. But I think we're almost done with our project for our class today. Okay, so I think it's almost loading. It's almost loading now. Okay, play again, and oh, still not working. Still not working. So that means there might be a problem here. Let's go get the main scene here again, in case it was changed. Okay, so let's be sure that everything is working properly. Start screen has its own code. This one has its own code. Lava has its own code. Everybody have their own code. Okay, let's play a general overview of this game from the beginning. So I'm going to click on this play here because I'm thinking we're going to export this game. Let me see if this thing is actually on here, so they can actually export the game. So basically, we are trying to make sure that all our codes are working properly, and we used the occasional visual scripting to actually put all the functionalities in this game. So G is just to show you the power of visual scripting, that it can actually do a lot of things. That okay, so we'll have this here. So if you click on play, oh, even this play is still not working too. Okay, so the play of my start screen is also not working. And let me see the game over. But that of the game over is working. Start screen. Let's be sure. So let's click on play. And for some strange reasons, our play button does not work everywhere. So this will warrant us to create a new button completely. And this new button is going to be a play button. Let's push this here. Call it play 2. Let me copy this and drop it. Let me even see if my game over is also having that same issue, because I think the game over is not having that issue. So why? Okay, the game over is the first one I created. Yes. So probably the error is coming because I reused the code. So we intend to be able to finish up with debugging this. We're already done with the game. It's just for us to debug why our play button is not working when we already have the code. The same code in the game over screen is also what we'll have in the other screens, and yet it's not playing, probably because we reused the code. So I think when I was doing it, I was telling people that when you reuse code, sometimes if you don't do it properly, it's going to have issues, and this is the kind of issues that you could have when you reuse a code and you don't do it the proper way. So I'm trying to play the game so that I will make sure that everything is working fine, that you can be able to play along the game, collect your coins, avoid the enemies, get to the edge of the scene, and click on play, you see it's working. So and it's working properly now. You can get that. That's it. Yep. So we have this. We'll have that. So it can be able to, move around however you want it. And if you click on play again, okay, our play again is working now. So you see, it's probably the play again is working fine now. So, okay, we have not added our pause button. That's another scene that we haven't added. I just remember that now that we have not added the pause feature in this game. So we're going to do that. Let me be sure that every other thing is working. Okay, our win button just suddenly started working. The start screen, let's see if it will suddenly also start working, because it's not meant to be doing whatever it was doing before. Let me just close the eye and try the start screen again. So we already have all the entire code that we need. So we are done with every functionality. We can be able to, we have our enemies moving around. So we can be able to do all those things. And if you watch through the entire video, you can be able to see that. So, but the problem we're having right now is because whenever we click on the play button, it doesn't work. So I think it's just a bug that is actually doing that, probably from the program itself. So, but we're already on it, and it's going to be working fine in a little short period. Okay, so our game is opening up, and we have play. Okay, still not working. So let's just go ahead and do this particular thing we want to do. So we'll have a new button here, and we're going to connect that new button to the code. And we're going to just use everything fresh. So in case there is any bug somewhere, we will avoid it. So right click, get your scene, scene tree, change, change to file. So I'm going to drop this here and get this to here, and I want it to change to the main scene. So I'm going to get the path and just drop this here, and then I'll right click and put instantiate, and just connect these two guys here. So let me see where that one is. I'm just going to drop it by the side. So we're going to try it out and see how it works. So let's play it now. So we just want to be able to make sure that every part of our game is going to work. So the next thing we're going to be doing, we're going to create a pause screen. The pause screen will be overlaid on the main game, so that whenever we actually pause the game, we're going to be using escape on the keyboard to pause the game. So when we click on pause, it's going to just pause the game, and when it pauses the game for us, we can be able to play back the game again. So there are some things we need to actually make sure we do. If not, it's not going to work. Okay, the reason is because there is a coding error. There is a bug. I'm trying to test why. Okay, so the play button here is not working. So let's see. Okay, this one is working now. So there was a problem. Both of them have the same code. If you look at here, let me just type it there in case you don't understand what I'm saying. There was a bug. So we are trying to debug that. Okay, so if you look at here now, I have the same code here and in the first button and also in the second, but the same code, but the other one is not working. So it's actually a bug that is doing that. That's the reason why. So what I will do now is that I will just select that second button and just delete it. So and then I will just get this one back to here. So problem solved. So the entire game is actually working fine now. So that means that if I want to play this game, I can just click on play and I can wait for it and be able to play the game from the beginning to the end. I can do my quits, I can do my win screen, my game over screen, and all the screens I need to actually work with, and they will be working fine now. So it's just a bug that I'm trying to resolve there. So basically, like I was saying, the last thing we have to do to this game to make it look nice is to add a pause screen to it. It makes it complete. So we just put a pause button on it, and the pause button, you can be able to use it. Now, this whole life is, I think I did the first part and then did the second part I'm doing, and it contains the entire process of making this game. The only thing I didn't design here are the other few things in the game. So if you come in here, you can click on the play, and you come in here. I think that thing is a bit filled out. So you can just collect that. You have to avoid that. Okay. And then you wait for it. And just go down. So you can go this way. And you win the game. So you can play again. And if you touch this, you can play again. Alright, so that's the thing. If you fall, that's another part of the game that we need to fix too. So we haven't put that part. So let me just quickly put that and then go into the pause. So now I don't like the way this thing is looking. It's looking a bit funny. Okay. Let's see if we could just make it this way. But I'm going to use it this way for the meantime. So now for my scene, I'm going to go back to my main scene, and under here I want whenever it falls, it's going to fall on a platform that it will be here, but that platform is going to have an area body 2D. Okay, body quality is blurry, but speed button has good quality. Okay, yep, that's actually true. This particular thing, I'm meant to use a buttons graphic buttons to be able to do that. Okay, let me just see if I could actually, since you have said it, let me just try and resolve it now, because it's just that code error that we had that caused all these issues, because we use the same measurement for all of them. Okay, let me see if I could do it from here. If I use a expanded icon, it's going to snap it. So we'll have this. And just come very close to it. Okay, so let me see where this is coming from. Detection errors. It's not meant to be doing this here because of the way we actually scaled it. That's the reason why. Okay, so I think the best thing I'm going to do to this is I'm going to have to use my button pack. Let me go get my button pack, my buttons that I use for my games. So let me see here. I'm going to just change that entirely so that it's going to not have any issue with whatever we're doing. It's going to look good. So I'm just going to quickly import my assets for buttons. Where do I have that? I think I should have buttons here. So I'm just going to get those buttons. Okay, I think I have some buttons here I can use that should be able to blend in properly with this particular scene that we are working on right now. Okay, so we'll have this here, and I'll just drop in the new buttons. And these buttons are a bit high res, so that's the reason why I was trying to avoid using them. So they're not created using the normal listing that we use. So I'm just going to get that. So for the quit, I have my quit button here, and I will go into this add-on that I have. Let's go get that buttons here. I have my buttons here that I just added. So I have my quits. You can just go drop it in the icon here, and it will give you this big stuff. You just click on the sorry, not flat, expandable. That's what you should be looking for. Expand icon so that it can bring it down. You can delete this now and turn on the flat so that it doesn't interfere. So you can just do that. So for the play, we're going to do the same thing. We're just going to clean this off and just go get our play and drop it here. Do the same thing, make sure it's flat, and then turn on the expanded icon too. So you can just quickly bring this. So I think if you want to get exact sizes, let's see if we could get the, let me see if it has the sizes here, the translation. Oh, it doesn't have the feature of a translation here. All right, thank you. Okay, Auto Translate it doesn't even have that. I'm surprised that buttons don't have translation by default here. So I'm just going to roughly, in fact I'm going to just drop this on top of this place and try to align both of them because I need them to be almost the same size. At least to control that, I think I have to use my control on the keyboard to control how it goes. I think it's better now, and I can just drop this over here. So now I have something very simple like this. So get both of them. I'm just going to get both of them now and move it. Move it to the center a bit here. And this is good. This is good. So let's save that and do the same thing for our game over screen and everything, so that everything will be working fine. Game over. Just come to game over. Delete that. For the play again, and just do restart. I think we're going to use restart on this one. Just restart. Turn on this and go down to icon behavior. Turn on that. It's going to just bring it down. Do the same thing here for the quits, and just put exit. Make sure you turn off this text flat, expand icon, and you're already good to go. So you don't even have to touch it, except you want to touch it. So I think I need to move them a bit, and even if you want to scale, because it's already too late for me to do this, so that I will make sure that everybody's they have the same size of buttons around my entire game. And then we'll have the, where it was the last one, the windscreen. Okay, where's our windscreen? Let me see where it is. I'm going to go to my windscreen. Okay, that's it there. Do the same thing here, and just doing some very simple stuff. Just very simple stuff that we're doing here. So you can just delete that and just go ahead to get your play. Let me see my button here. So my buttons is restart, flat, expand icon. Go to your quits, the same thing. You just delete this here, get your exits and just drop it there. Check on the flats and also on the expand icon. So you have that. Hold shift and select both of them, and you can use this to move them towards the center a bit more. So if you feel like this one is not in the center, you can just bring it in more like that. So for the coloring and everything, we can do that with time. So right now we already have this. So the next thing I want to create is my pause button. Now the pause button is a bit something I'm going to do with I think let me see our screen, the game screen. This is this color, this white color. Let me change the color of the background first. Let's go change the color of the background. So the color of the background is white now. If you go to your general, if you go to under rendering environment, you can see this. You can change the color. So I want to make it a bit I think it's hanging now. Okay, so we'll have something like this. I want to be able to use sort of sky blue, kind of. For some reason, this is hanging. Okay, so I want to use this particular color for the sky. So but I want it to be a bit just a tiny bit dark like that. So I have this feature now. I don't know if that's a good color. I think that thing should be a bit brighter. Should be brighter for us to be able to make it work. So it just should be close to white, but not exactly white. Okay, let's use it this way. Okay, so let's go get our pause button. So if I click on the pause button, I can just click on this 2D and do the same thing. I'm going to just do, I think I would like to save my time. Okay, let me just go ahead and do that. I'm going to use my node, color rect. So if you're joining us for the first time, you don't know how I create all those stuff. Let me just show you. So this time around, I need this thing to appear in the center of my screen. So I'm just going to just, it's going to be a bit small. And it's going to be, it won't cover the entire scene. So I'm just going to make it something like that. So because my screen is going for more of a green color, so I'm just going to make this a dark green. But then this dark green is going to be transparent. So look at here, I'm going to make, from down here, you can make it transparent a bit so that when it overlays on your screen, it's going to be, you can see through it. So I can just put this here, and I'm going to duplicate this. When I duplicate, I'm going to make this to be a bit smaller, like that. I just want to have this kind of style on it. Okay, so I have this. So I'm going to just drop this in the center here. Let's select that first one and make it a bit thicker, the color. I don't think that would help. Okay, I think we can use it this way for the meantime. So let's go get our buttons. Let's type button button will be, we're going to have the button for the play, okay, that's play the game, and you can also quit the game too, the same thing we have been doing. So I'm just going to do play again here, and I'm going to just quickly go to my play and just add play to it. So, and then turn on my flats, go down here, turn on my expand icon, and it's going to just be small. So right now I can just scale it up like this. Oh, something is happening there. Okay, let's see what is happening. So I'm just going to let's go back a bit and just type play on it and just bring it down here first. So when we bring it down, let's try adding our play button back again on it and see why it's doing that funny stuff that it was doing. Okay, our text is not showing for whatever reason, so probably another bug that we are seeing here now. So let's save this first. I'm going to Control S. This is my pause screen, my pause scene. So let's go do the buttons again. So we'll get another button. So this is the button here. Let's just drop this in here. And this and that. Let me see this, and for whatever reason is doing this. Okay, I'm just going to just scale it down like that manually. I'm not going to be using the expanded icon any longer. So for whatever reason it's rejecting it. I wouldn't know why. So now I have my play here, so I'm going to put play here, and I can duplicate this and just have a new button down here. I hope this is not the reason why it's did that issue that caused the last time. Okay, so I have this here now. So I'm going to put a text here that will write press this to play. Okay, so I'm just going to put label. So that would be what will be telling you that your game has been paused. So play, press play to continue play. You press play to continue. I think that should be enough for us. So I'm just going to click here and click on new settings, click here, and I'm going to go down to fonts and increase that. So we'll have this here. So I'll just drop this here. I'm just going to put this here. So this is just like a basic stuff we're doing. We're not doing the proper designs that we need to do because it will take more time for us. Let's add a gun to shoot enemy in part 3. Okay, no problem, we're going to do that. Alright, I think I made a video on something like that, so probably we're going to do something like that. So I think it's actually a good idea, very good idea. I think we're going to do that in the next class. Probably I will stream that tomorrow. So I have this here now, and I'll just come up and add a code to this. So I'm going to add my attached script, and this is my pause code. I'm going to click here and go to my script, click on open, and just create it. So now I have this. I can just come here and select my play. Oh, sorry, this one is the quit. This is quit, so that I don't forget it. So play here, go to up this side here, node, go to pressed, click on connect, and then my connect, I'm going to select the node 2D. Excuse me, I'm coming. Okay, I'm back. Alright, so I'm going to do play. On play, I'm going to just create it. Yep, that's it. And then also for the quit, I'll do the same thing. Go to your node, press, click on connect, and I will just connect it. So you can change here to post. Let me just leave it. Sometimes changing all these things could cause coding error, like bugs. So I'm just going to leave that for now. So here you have the quit and you have the play. So right now, this is a bit different from the one we have been doing since. So right now, we want, whenever we press our escape button on the keyboard, it's going to pause the entire game. That's what we want to have. So I'm going to now go over here. I'm going to go over here to create a physics process. I'm going to come back to those other codes, so just create them all. These are the functions you're going to write. So the first code I'm going to write is for the pause, to pause the game. So for the pause, I'm going to right click and get an action. So this action now is going to be my escape on the keyboard. Okay, so when you press escape, it's going to pause the game. So click on this, and you don't have escape yet, so I'm going to go to my project, go to my project settings, go to my input maps, and I'm going to create pause. Okay, the pause button, and the pause button will be represented by escape. So this is the pause. Click on the plus sign here and just press escape on your keyboard, and it's going to pick it up. You click OK, and that's what it's going to be using. So I'm going to close this. So if you don't see this, sometimes if you didn't add it before adding this, you won't see it in the options. Let me see if it will come out. It's not coming out, so I'm going to delete this one. Right click again and type it again, action, and just drop it in here. Oh, sorry, mistakenly added something else. Action. So for this action, I'm just going to just drop, I'm going to get my branch. So I'm going to put my branch. That's my branch now. Delete this one. So I want, whenever I press escape, I want this game to be paused. So I'll just right click and get pause. So but you won't see pause here. That's the thing you have to know. So to get your pause, you need to get your scene tree, and from your scene tree, you're going to drag it out and you're going to get a pause. So if you look at here, you see you have call set pause or get set pause. Okay, so you could actually use this one. This one should be able to work. Call set pause. So it's going to call set pause and just drop it there. Bam. So now this is very important. Here it's, once you check this box, that means that the entire game is paused. Now this is where the tricky part comes in. So once you're done with this, okay, you can bring this into your scene, but you need to do something on it. So the first thing you need to do on it is that you're going to select this scene. Let's see if we can do it from here. You select this scene now, the parent scene that controls this guy here, and you're going to go down to where you have process. Okay, very important. If you don't do this, when you pause your game, you can't play it again. So you make sure you select the root node that controls everything here. Go down to your process, click here from inherit and say always. Means that it's going to be always active wherever it is. Okay, so that means that this button can be playable even when you have paused the entire game. So now I'm going to go ahead to finish up with the other code. So the other code is play. So the play now, I'm not going to put this code here. I'm going to put it in the other side because I'm going to instantiate it in the main scene. So I'll go to my main scene now, and in my main scene, I will just right click here and add a node 2D, and I'm going to call this my pause holder. Let me snap all this so you see that the scene is very organized. So the pause holder will have the pause. I'm going to instantiate the pause now on it. So the pause will now be under this place. Okay, so what I will do here is simply, what if the entire game. So if the pause is if that pause is always off, okay. What if always is off? If once it's off, like let's say for example, now let me even select and show you process. If this is any other thing here, if, let's say for example it's inherited, once you pause the game, the entire game stops and you can't play the game again. You understand? You just can't play the game again. So until you just close the entire game, that's the thing. So let me just write it for you. You can't play it again. You just remain paused. That's the whole idea. So it will just become static. That's the reason why we're putting. So now you see, once I put this thing here, see, because I made it to be in the center of my scene. Let me be sure it's actually in the center of my scene. I like it to be in the center of my scene. Yep, something like that. Exactly. So save it so that this will just come up and overlay on my screen. That's what I want, to do. Very, very important. So now this interesting part now. For this code, remember I have a code that I want to write. So the code here is when you click on play, what should it do? So we need this when we're going to start this game. This thing will be off, okay, to be hidden. When we click on this escape, it's going to make it visible. All right. So that's the next code we need to add here. So once you press this, if you pause it before he pauses it, okay, it's going to make this thing visible. So let's say for example now we'll select this here now. Let's select it, and then we'll go into the visibility and get this visibility and just drop it here, set visible. So this will make the pause button to be seen in front of the game. That's what you're doing now. So that's what we just did here. So very important. Before it will set the entire scene to be paused. So now let me go down to here now. What about when you now click on play? What should it do? First, whenever we click on play, we want it to set this guy to become invisible. Okay? Which is what it should be by default. So select this, and I'm going to uncheck this box. Okay? It will set it to be invisible. Then I will go ahead to add a new scene 3. And then remember that pause thing that we did, pause. So we'll get that our call pause, set pause, and now it's going to, negative means that it's going to remove the pause. Remember that when you press that escape, it's going to pause it, but here it's removing the pause. So that's what it's doing here now. That's what it's doing here now. So once it does that, the game becomes open for everybody to play it again. So then over here, this one is just the same thing, scene, but this time around I'm just going to quit the game. So let's say for example you pressed escape, you pause the game and you don't want to play a game, you can just quit the game. You can just get from the scene tree, type quit, and you can get your quits game. Okay, so I have this here now, and let's be sure everything is working fine. So back here in the 2D scene, all you need to do is just, you see that this thing is going to appear here. All you need to do is just to turn it off. So it's going to be invisible right now. So let's go play a game. So we can click on the first normal play, so that I want us to be able to start from the beginning to play the entire game and see what it looks like. So like I say, very important that you make sure that that particular part is it's always. Other parts will not be always. Except there is any other part of the game that you want to also be able to use while, maybe, let's say for example, you want to have an inventory in your game. So the inventory should also be on when you're pausing the game. So let's say you pause the game to check on your inventory. Those are the kind of things you want to still leave at always. If not, it's going to just pause every single thing in your game, and you can't be able to play it again. So I think my lack of graphics card is causing me not to be able to be optimal, but I think by the time we're going to change that. Okay, so we have this now, so you can click on play game, and see, we have this very nice game, and then we have this. So wait for it, bam, wait for it, yep, wait for it. So let's press escape. Oh, our escape is not working yet, so there is a coding error somewhere. Our escape is not working yet, so probably, I don't think we actually added that escape button there. Let me be sure. It seems like we forgot that one. Let me be sure. Click here. Oh, you see there is no button there. We forgot that. So go down to where we added the pause button. Just click on that, and let's just go ahead to just play directly here. So whenever you are doing something, sometimes when I'm working on all these things, sometimes you're doing this and you forget to do that. So just make sure that whenever your game is not working properly, you go and check all your codes to make sure that everything is actually working the way it's supposed to be working. So because you have a vast amount of things you are trying to work with all at once. So basically it's just this. So if you're using the latest version of Godot 4.4, you can be able to actually do all these things using visual scripting. It's a full-fledged game that you're already creating. So I think one of the things, like someone asked, Skibby said that we should add a gun. Okay, so I think one of the things I might do here, I'm even thinking of adding a knife. Skibby, what do you think? Should we add a knife? I'm thinking of that. If you add a knife to destroy those fire, or maybe a water bottle or something, I don't know. Let me see what we can do. So if you press escape, oh, we have a problem. So the problem is that this thing is appearing. You see, you can't even do anything now. You see, the entire game is frozen. Okay, so we need to make sure that this thing is in the center. So there is a way for us to do that. So the only way we can do that is that we're going to make it a child of this canvas, the pause screen. Okay, the canvas layer is the UI. Let me, in case you have not been following, the UI is the canvas layer. That's what shows you this at the center. So I'm going to just come in. I think this might give us some issues. But we're going to see how we're going to manage that. So I'm just going to get that pause holder, bring it under this one here, bam. So once we bring it under it, we can still go back and turn it off again. Now let me see something here. I want to check something on the code to be sure that there is no place that we did some. Okay, this will cause a problem with the visibility. So we need to put the visibility again because the link has been changed. So we'll just come in here, drag it in here again, set visibility. So remember, whenever you press the first one, you should set it to be visible. So but when you press the second one, you should make it invisible. So I can just select this duplicate and just drop it down here. If you look at now, the link here, the node part is now canvas layer. Before it was not canvas layer. So those are the things. We should add a knife and a ninja star.